What if the answers you've been searching for your entire life were already written down over 2,500 years ago? Most people wake up every day feeling stuck. They work hard, but still feel empty. They chase success, but somehow feel lost. They have everything they were told to want, and yet they still wonder, why doesn't this feel like enough? They scroll, they consume, they rush. And somewhere in all that noise, they lose the one thing that could have guided them all along: wisdom. Not the kind of wisdom that trends on social media, not the kind that expires in 6 months, the kind that has survived wars, collapsed empires, and still stands completely undefeated after 25 centuries. That is the wisdom of Confucius, a philosopher, a teacher, and one of the most influential minds in all of human history. A man who didn't teach people what to think, he taught them how to live. And today, I'm going to share 10 life lessons from Confucius that could completely change the way you see yourself, your choices, and your future. Pay close attention to Lesson 9, because in a world that's always pointing fingers outward, Lesson 9 will force you to look inward. And that single shift can change everything. Stay until the end, because the last lesson isn't just motivation, it's a reminder that will stay with you long after this video ends. Here's the truth most people never accept. You don't need more information. You don't need another strategy. You need wisdom. And wisdom isn't something you find out there. It's something you build. Quietly. Deliberately. One lesson at a time. These are those lessons. Lesson 1. Know yourself before you judge others. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Most people spend their entire lives studying the world around them. They analyze others. They judge others. They criticize others. But they never truly sit down and honestly examine themselves. And that is exactly where wisdom dies. Imagine you're frustrated with someone close to you. Their habits irritate you. Their choices confuse you. You're convinced they're the problem. But what if the real work isn't understanding them? It's understanding yourself. What if your reaction says more about your unhealed parts than it does about their behavior? Confucius didn't start by teaching others. He started by knowing himself. And that self-knowledge became the foundation of everything he taught. When you know yourself deeply, you stop reacting blindly. You start responding wisely. That is where real power begins. Lesson 2. Purpose will always outwork passion alone. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. People spend decades chasing money, titles, and status. They climb ladders that are leaning against the wrong walls, and when they finally reach the top, they feel nothing. Because they never asked the one question that mattered most. What am I actually meant to do? Imagine waking up every morning not dreading the day, but feeling drawn to it. Not dragging yourself to a desk, but moving towards something that genuinely lights you up from the inside. That kind of energy doesn't feel like work. It feels like direction. Purpose isn't something you find by simply searching harder. It's something you uncover by paying attention to what makes you feel most alive. When your work is aligned with who you truly are, you don't just perform better, you live better. Every single day. Lesson 3. Small actions. Build impossible things. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. We look at great achievements and feel overwhelmed. The gap between where we are and where we want to be can seem impossible. So we wait. We prepare. We tell ourselves we'll start when the time is right. And the mountain never moves. Imagine someone who wants to completely transform their life, their health, their career, their mindset. They don't do it in one dramatic moment. They do it through small, quiet, consistent actions that most people overlook. one stone at a time, one day at a time. Confucius understood something most people refuse to accept. Greatness is not dramatic. It is repetitive. You don't need to move the mountain today. You just need to pick up one stone, and then another, and then another. Do that for long enough, and the mountain moves. Lesson 4. Silence is stronger than you think. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. In a world addicted to noise, silence can feel uncomfortable. People fill every gap with words, opinions, and reactions. They speak before they think. They respond before they understand. And in doing so, they often lose more than they gain. Imagine you're in a heated moment. Someone challenges you, provokes you, pushes you. Every instinct tells you to respond immediately, to defend yourself, to match their energy. But instead, you go quiet, not from weakness, from control. And in that silence, something powerful happens. They lose their footing. You keep yours. Silence is not emptiness. It is presence. It is the space where clarity exists before it becomes words. The person who masters silence masters every conversation they enter, because they speak only when their words are worth more than the quiet. Lesson 5. Never let learning and thinking exist without each other. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. Some people consume endlessly. Books, podcasts, videos, courses. They know something about everything, and yet they do nothing with it. Others think deeply, but never expose themselves to new ideas. They become prisoners of their own limited perspective. Imagine a student who memorizes every page of every textbook, but never stops to ask why. They pass every test, yet understand nothing. Now imagine the opposite. Someone who spends their life thinking deeply, but never learns from those who came before them. They reinvent the wheel in every direction except forward. Confucius saw the danger in both extremes. Real growth lives in the balance. You read, and then you reflect. You learn, and then you question. You absorb, and then you apply. Knowledge without reflection is noise. Reflection without knowledge is arrogance. Together, they become wisdom. We are halfway through these 10 lessons, and already, something is shifting in the way you see things. If this wisdom is reaching you, subscribe to Mind Mansion and turn on notifications, because every single day, we go deeper. Now, let's continue, because the next 5 lessons are where it gets even more powerful. Lesson 6. Your circle is your mirror. When you see a good man, think of emulating him. When you see a bad man, examine your own heart. You don't just choose your friends, you choose who you become. The people around you shape your standards, your habits, your beliefs, and your ceiling. Most people underestimate this completely. They think they're strong enough to remain unaffected by their environment. They're wrong. Imagine 2 people with the exact same potential. One spends their time around people who complain, settle, and shrink. The other spends their time around people who grow, build, and push forward. 5 years later, they are completely different people. Not because of talent, because of the company they kept. Confucius didn't just observe great people, he studied them. He let their greatness challenge his own. Now, look at who is around you right now. Are they pulling you up, or are they quietly pulling you down? Lesson 7. Character starts at home. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. Everyone wants to change the world. Fewer people are willing to change themselves, and fewer still are willing to start where it actually begins, inside their own walls, within their own relationships, and within their own character. Imagine someone who speaks beautifully about respect in public, but treats the people at home carelessly. Someone who preaches kindness to strangers, but has no patience for the people closest to them. That gap between who you present yourself to be and who you actually are is where character either lives or dies. Confucius knew this. Real strength isn't what you show the world. It's what you practice when no one is watching. It's how you treat the people who don't need to be impressed. Fix what's inside your walls first. Everything else will follow from there. Lesson 8. Respect yourself first. Always. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. You cannot borrow self-respect from the opinions of others. You cannot build it from compliments, validation, or approval. It has to come from within, from keeping your promises to yourself, from holding on to your standards even when it costs you, and from knowing your worth without needing someone else to confirm it. Imagine someone who constantly shrinks themselves to fit into spaces that were never meant for them. They agree when they disagree. They stay when they should leave. They accept what they should reject, all just to keep the peace. And slowly, quietly, they lose themselves completely. Confucius understood that self-respect isn't arrogance, it's a foundation. When you respect yourself truly, deeply, and consistently, you stop accepting what diminishes you, and the world begins to treat you exactly the way you treat yourself. Lesson 9. The real battle is always within. Attack the evil that is within yourself, rather than attacking the evil that is in others. This is the lesson most people are not ready for. It is far easier to point outward, to blame, to criticize, to find everything that's wrong with the world, with other people, and with our circumstances. It takes almost no courage to do that. But to turn that same eye inward, to look honestly at your own anger, your own fears, your own failures, and your own contradictions, that takes everything. Imagine spending years feeling frustrated with the people around you, their flaws, their mistakes, their limitations, only to realize one day that the qualities you despise most in others are the ones you haven't yet faced within yourself. Confucius wasn't pointing fingers at Rome or at kings. He was always pointing inward. The world changes when you change, and you change when you stop running from yourself. Lesson 10. Never stop. That is the only rule. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. You will have slow days, days when progress feels invisible, days when you question everything, your path, your effort, your worth, days when the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels unbearable. And on those days, this lesson is the only thing you need to remember. Imagine two people starting the same journey. One moves fast, sprinting, burning out, and eventually quitting. The other moves slowly, steady, quiet, and unshakable. They never stop. Not because of doubt, not because of fear, not because of the people who told them it wasn't possible. They simply keep moving. A year later, only one of them is still on the journey. Speed is not the measure. Stopping is the only real failure. Keep going on the hard days. Keep going on the slow days. Keep going when no one is watching and when nothing feels like it's working. Because everything you are building is still being built, even when you cannot see it. You now carry something most people will never slow down long enough to find. Not a life hack, not a quick fix, not another trend that disappears in a month. You carry the wisdom of a man who lived 2,500 years ago and still understood the human condition better than most people alive today. That is not a small thing. That is everything. Let's bring all 10 lessons back one final time, because repetition is how wisdom becomes instinct. Know yourself before you judge others. Let purpose guide you more than passion alone. Build the impossible, one small action at a time. Master silence before you master words. Never let learning and thinking exist without each other. Choose your circle like your life depends on it, because it does. Build your character at home before you carry it into the world. Respect yourself first, always, and without apology. Turn your eye inward before you point it outward. And no matter what, never stop. These are not 10 things to remember. These are 10 ways to live. The person who walked into this video and the person hearing these final words are not quite the same. Something has shifted. A door has opened. And what you do next, whether you walk through it or walk away, is your choice. And that choice defines everything. Confucius once said, "The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life." You asked by showing up. Now go and live the answer. Here at Mind Mansion, this is what we do every single day. We build wisdom, we build clarity, and we build the kind of inner strength that no one can take away from you. So, right now, I want you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to Mind Mansion, because this was only the beginning, and what's coming next will go even deeper. Second, like this video, so that more people who are searching for this wisdom can actually find it. And third, write in the comments right now, "I choose wisdom over noise." That phrase will tell me you made it to the end, that you're serious, and that you're ready. I read every single comment, and I want to know, which of these 10 lessons hit you the hardest?